So welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining my JavaScript video tutorial. This is the second video of JavaScript tutorial. In this video, I am going to talk about the rest of the topics from JavaScript. We have discussed from introduction till object display, and we are going to discuss about object constructors and how are we going to use the object constructors in JavaScript. So sometimes we need to create many objects of the same type. To create object type, we use object constructor function. It is considered good practice to name constructor functions with the uppercase first letters. Okay, so that is the, you know, this is the function and constructor, and then we are setting the properties inside the constructor. Okay, inside that particular object. Okay, let us actually declare a constructor. This is the object creation constant my father, and then we are declaring an object, and we are declaring the constructor is declared earlier. If you see, it is the constructor of for a person object, and then we are creating the object, and then we are creating that object, and then we can access that with the dot age. Okay, and then dot mother age, both are different objects, right? Okay, so that is the constructor object. We are creating that with the same object name. So property is like a value in that particular object. In that particular object, you will add value to that particular property, and each object will have its own property value. For example, nationality can be US or England or India, like that. So you cannot add new property to an object constructor. Okay, once it is created, you cannot add that one. It has to be declared initially, and then you have to use it. Okay, when you are creating that object function, and then so a constructor can also have a method. Okay, so this is how you will create full name, and then function, and then this is the syntax. So remember this: adding a method to an object. Constructor, you cannot add a new method to an object constructor function. New object, new array, new map, new set, new date, new regular expression, new function. Okay, use object literals instead of a new object. Use literals instead of new array. Use patterns instead of a regular expression. Use function instead of a new function. JavaScript events. Okay, so each page will have events, right? Button has events. Button has mouse click event. A page will have a page loading event. Input field has a change event. A button will has a clicked event, right? Each one will have an event. So when event, then you can actually call a JavaScript to do some action. Okay, so we can call the event. It can be on click. Okay, then on click button, on left button click, on right button click. So these are all events for the Windows. So on click you can use it, and then document dot, and then we are actually setting that as a date. Okay, this is the value, or you can use this as a JavaScript function and call it, right? This is this dot inner equal to date, you can use it, or you can call it as a, click on it, then this is changed. Okay, we are just changing that particular button, but we don't want to do it, but it can be done. So there are on change, HTML element has changed. On click, on mouse over, the mouse moves over the HTML element. On moves out, on key down, on load, the browser has finished loading. JavaScript event handlers, so we will discuss that. Okay, so strings are for storing the text, and it can be stored within the double quotes, a single quote or double quote. Let text equal to John dot Joe, John Joe. Okay, so this is the then document inner demo. We are adding that inner text with the, we are replacing that demo object, right? ID is paragraph is demo, and we are changing that here. Okay, so double quotes and single quotes, no problem, it is allowed. Quotes inside quotes, as long as they don't match with the quotes surrounding the string. Okay, so there is no problem here, it is allowed, whereas in other programming you have to escape it. Okay, template strings, let text equal to is, templates are string enclosed in backticks. Okay, this is a template string. Templates allows single and quotes inside a string. Okay, string length, you can use text dot length to get that. Escape characters, because strings must be written within quotes, JavaScript is a missing, so it is better to add escape characters as we discussed, backslash quote, backslash double quote, and then it will actually display the strings properly. Okay, so you come to this section and then do that experiment, and then escape backspace, form feed, new line, carriage return, and then horizontal tab and vertical tab. Breaking long lines, okay, you can add it, long line. So we are actually changing that to hello Dolly, right? Hello Dolly. Okay, let us go to the next chapter. Template strings, let the quick box is there. Strings as object, you can create a string as an object with the string, and then you can use all the methods of strings to get it, like length, okay, or addition, subtraction, sorry, addition, deletion, all those string length, all methods you can use to get the methods. There are many string methods are there. String, to upper, to lower, concat, trim start, trim end, right, caret, length, slice, substring, and then replace, repeat, replace all, split. So these are all, if you use length, it will display the length. Okay, and then extracting string characters at position or character char code, you can use to get that at position. Okay, So at that particular position, what is that particular character? You can use those string methods to get that, right? And at method access, you can access with the array index also. And slice, three methods for extracting a part, start end, you will get that slice, then substring, then start end, substring start and length, right? These are the functions which will be used to get that minimal slice of that particular string. Then substring from 7 length. Okay, converting to upper and lower, two uppercase, two lowercase. These will try it, it will actually convert that into upper. These are the functions, you can use it. Just come back and understand all the functions. Concatenate will actually add, text 1 and text 2. Okay, to try it, concatenate, you add it with the text 1 will add and text it. It will, before this will add and then the next word. Similarly, trim will trim the white spaces from both sides. Trim start will trim the from the left side, start of the string, and then trim end will trim the white spaces from the end. And you can add padding, okay, where pad start, pad end at the end or at the beginning. Whatever we want to add it, it will be added. Okay, and then repeat method to add, okay, a particular string. So these are all string functions which you want to use it. Replace will replace, this will be useful, try it, which will replace the particular string. So come to this and then experiment with converting string to array. You can split that one, then it will, so based on that particular comma, the words will be split into array, and you can parse through that array in your program. So string search methods, index of, last index of, search, match, match all, includes, starts with, ends with. These are the set of string.
From linuxconcept.com. For example, the pattern seal.
Alexa, stop it. JavaScript index of will give the index of this locate. Okay, it starts from the 7th position. And then last index of method returns the index of the last occurrence of the specified text. And then search will search a particular location and then display. So match method returns the array containing the results of matching string. EIN, what it will display, let us check. Okay, which place it is, it will display. So a lot of string functions you can come and experiment with the so string templates, template strings. or template titles. Backtick syntax. Templates use backticks rather than the quotes. Okay, backticks. So this is in a backtick. Okay, so text is a backtick. Okay, it is a template. It is a template. Okay, so it is in a backtick and then template surrounded by hello world and get element text. Okay, this is the backtick template. Quotes inside string. So it will allows both strings, single quote, double quote, multi-line strings are allowed. Template string provides an easy way to interpolate variables and expressions into the strings. So this method is called string interpolation. You see dollar and then, so if we add like this, right, these values will be replaced. So this is the, and this is the template, and then this is the text. Automatically this value is placed here in the template. It is like a variable, and then we are actually placing in this template. This is the template, and template will replace with the variables. You can also use in the template expressions inside the flower brackets of dollar for flower bracket, and you can also add a object and expression, all those things. So this is the template. We have header, and then we have header value, which is actually template string, and then h2, which is in h2, and then we are displaying that for constant x tags for all list. We are displaying that, okay, in all these values in this particular. So this is the template, and this template we used with the list item, okay, with this header too. Hope you are following. It is a template used with the dynamic data to be displayed. So these are supported in, okay, these browsers. Just check the versions before you use it. And script JavaScript numbers, as we have seen, float and exponential and also integer. You can use it, and then you can use them in your program manipulation, and with the operators plus, minus, division, modulus, all those parameters, and then you can use it. Not a number. If you want to use a not a number, you will not be able to add it. And infinity, right? Well, infinity not equal to, you want to run this loop for infinite numbers, you can use hyphen infinity is the value written if you calculate a number outside the largest number. Okay, hexadecimal, you can use hexadecimal also in the numbers. Big int. See, these are all, we will quickly go through. These are generic terminals. To store bigger integer than too big to be represented as a normal JavaScript number. Okay, integers are only accurate up to 15 digits, right? And all the numbers are stored in a 64-bit floating point format. With the standard, large integers cannot be exactly printed with the. So because of this, we can safely reprint integers up to this numbers. So how to create a big int? Okay, so to create a big int, append n to the end of the integer. Okay, so then that will allow that to be big int, or you can create big int of. Okay, then you can get that big int is the second numeric data type in JavaScript. Big int is the total number supported data. Operators you can add, but it will actually display that much of value. There is a big okay, number, right, which you cannot usually, you know, work it. Big int decimals cannot have decimals, so cannot have it, okay, error, and then you have to change it, but be careful, the amount will be, the number will go away. Big int hexaoctal binary, hexadecimal precision, and number method, there is a number object you can create, and then you can convert that into string, you can to exponential number returns written in exponential notation to fixed value, okay, you can create a number dot to string, or dot string will actually convert into string to exponential method, okay, returns a string with the number rounded and written exponential notation into fixed to precision. So come back and the, you know, experiment number new. So number properties, we have one on the smallest, max value possible, min value, safe integer, the maximum safe integer, the maximum min safe integer positive, okay, so try all those. So now let us try JavaScript arrays. Array is a special value which can hold more than one value, so you have to use, you know, brackets and then values, right, and you can constant array name and item 1, item 2, item 3, right, this is how it is written. And you can assign the values. You can also use new array and then declare it, and you are assigning the cars to the inner HTML, and it is displayed, okay. So we'll go move forward to the next chapter. Array methods, there are array methods that join, pop, push, shift, and splice. There are many methods are there, you can use it, delete, add it, union it, okay. Work on this array methods. Array search, there are various methods to index, you can, these are all, you know, standard functions, you can use it, you know, find, this is the array, and find out my function will actually return if it is greater than, right, array functions. And sorting, sort reverse, to reversed, numeric sort, random sort, math, minimum, maximum, all those functions you can work out for the array. Iteration, for each you can verify, for each, or map, filter, reduce, I will come here and then verify all these methods. These are functions of we will skip this. Dates, there is a date object you create with the date and then work on. So script constant d new date and date value is displayed. It is displaying the date. You can work on manipulations. Date object year, like year month date you can create based on your requirement. So a lot of options are there. Object and you can use date to string, ISO string, formats. ISO format, international, the international standard format, or your local format. You can use time zones. Based on your time zone you can set, and then format you can create and then work on the dates. New date and then get full year, get month, get date, get hours, so get milliseconds. It will have all those methods. You can use them in your program. And set methods, where you can use to set the date, full year, hours when you create the object, and then you can set it all those details. You can compare the dates also. And there is a math object where you can use that for all mathematical, you know, Euler's number, pi number, square root of 2, square root of 1 by 2. Okay, these are the standard, but round, seal, floor, trunk, and then round, seal, floor, trunk. There are many methods are there, all absolute, sine, cosine, minimum, max, random, log, logarithm is logarithm of 10. So all those functions are available, you can utilize in your program. Random will return the random value, okay, which will be useful in your program. Proper random function. And then boolean. So boolean represents one or two of two types, that is true or false. Okay, and we need to use it boolean of, then it will return true or false. Condition, comparison, equal to, greater than, less than, everything. Boolean of x, boolean of, it will give the condition and return a particular value. Comparisons and logical operators, JavaScript comparisons we have seen. Equal to, equal value and type. Not equal to, not equal value or not equal type. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So ampersand, double ampersand for end, or for or, and not. Ternary, variable name, condition, and value 1, value 2. If condition is true, value 1 will be and assigned to variable name. If condition is false, variable value 2 will be assigned to variable name. Okay, if you want you can test it. Okay, so you can verify all these are standard. Now let us see if statement, control statements, if, else, else if, and switch. If statement, if condition and block of statements. Like in Java, okay, you can use that if condition and then condition, else statement, if condition else, if condition else, right, and else if condition else, if condition to else. So you can use all this programming, write this. Okay, good day, it will test. This is standard. Switch statement, you use it, you need to perform different actions based on different conditions, right? So you need to add a break. See, if you are familiar with Java, you can easily catch this switch statement expression, and any of the condition is true, then it will actually execute, okay, to the respective case. Okay, and let us test this. If you are not familiar with Java, then come back and then practice this one. Today is Sunday, so it has given, and then whatever it is value, based on that it is displaying. Switch, and then break, will break, you need to break it from that loop, and then default, if any of them are not true, then it will go to the default. And common code blocks, if you want to make it two cases, it can execute based on this. And strict comparison, so now let us come to the for loop. It is the same as Java. Let us for loop, and then statement 1, condition, and different kinds of loops. So that is for in, for of, loops through the properties of the object. For expression 1, expression 2, expression 3. Usually expression will be used for assignment, expression 2 is used for the condition, expression 3 is used for the incremental step. And then we are I equal 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Okay, this value is printed. This is same as Java. You can easily understand this. So if you know C or Java or any other programming. For in, loops through, okay, in the objects. We have, for example, 2 3 objects, so then let this one, then let X in person, and all those it will loops through it. Okay, so for in, okay, for each kind of thing, for a variable in array, okay, array for each. So you can do this one, for loop, for of loop. So JavaScript for of statement loops through the values of iteratable object. It lets you loop over iteratable data structures such as arrays, strings, maps, okay, node lists, or more. Variable of. So let X of cars, then it will loop through and then display. While loop, while and condition, and then block. While condition is true, and then this particular, all the statements are executed. Okay. Do while. Do while, usually first statement will be executed and then condition will be verified. Right, first statement will be executed and the condition will be checked. And a break we have used break and continue. Break will be used if a number is 3 we are breaking, so that means it will exit from this for loop. Okay, it will not continue. Next step, continue. If you use it, what will happen is it will actually ignore the statements for the I equal to 3, and then it will continue for the rest of this. So it will ignore the I equal to 3. Okay, and you can also create break and labels. Break label name, continue label name, it will directly go to that particular label. Okay, so that is the JavaScript iterables. Okay, iterables, objects like arrays, we iterate from one object to the other object. In a for loop we have seen variable of iteratable. Okay, that means we repeat through. For example, x of name. Okay, name contains a character, so we actually repeat through the characters, or set of characters, x of letters, it will repeat through that one. Okay, over a set also we can report. Okay, new set, and then constant data, or map also we can repeat. And then so map and set, and so you can easily repeat through the maps and sets. So sets, JavaScript set is a collection of unique values. Each value can only occur once in a set. The value can be of any type, right? Either integer or string or whatever. Set contains set of values. So new set and add, we can add, and then we can add this is a set. Okay, add method will add that into the set, and for each x of letters we can actually iterate through the sets. The new set method, JavaScript method, set add methods has, it can also use letters as has, returns true if that particular element is present. For each, you can use that for each to iterate through. Lot of methods are there, go through methods and then you can understand. Maps is a key value pair mapping, where keys can be a data type, any data type. A map remembers the original insertion order of the keys. So new map and array to the right, you can actually create a map with this, and then fruits, and you can use a set, right? Fruits dot set also you can create to set the values, and then you can use get to get the key value maps, and it is an object, and you can uh, iterate. So map methods, you can get, set, size, delete, clear, has, for each, entries, keys, values of. Okay, you can do these methods, you can perform the operations. So type of operator returns the data type of a variable. Okay, you can return a string, number, boolean, big int, symbol, null, undefined. So if you use a type of, it will returns the corresponding type. Okay, number, boolean, big int, symbol. Okay, you can actually compare if you want that particular what is the type. Complex data types, object, type of object, what it will return, it is object, right? If it is an object, if it is a function, it will return the function. Is array, instance of operator will actually check whether the the object is instance of that particular class or particular type. Undefined variables, value is undefined, empty values, null is nothing, it doesn't have any value, it doesn't have any object. The types are different. Okay, undefined and null. Value may be same, but types are different. Constructor properties. Let us check. Your, okay. Void operator, evaluates an expression, returns undefined. But be careful when you are using this. Type conversions can be done from one type to other, but we need to be careful when we are doing, otherwise data will be lost to exponential to fixed. Okay, so understand this and then type conversion. So hold on it, go to w3schools.com and then you walk through and learn. Okay. So this destructing assignment syntax unpack object properties into variables. Okay. This is, you know, the object is assigning into a particular variables. If you want this object to be entered as, you can directly use them in your object. That is a good feature. So bitwise operators, percentage, and then bitwise or bitwise exclusive or these are bit operations. Okay, in a particular, for example, 5 and 1, okay, will become 0 0 1. That means it will actually do 0 to 0 0, 1 to 0 0 0 0 0 and 1 1 1. So that makes 0 0 0 1. Okay, bitwise we rarely use it, but if you want to experiment, come and experiment here. Regular expression is very important when you are actually using. So this is a pattern and modifier. Okay, so w3 schools and is a case. So what we are going to do is um w3 schools slash I is a pattern and I is a modifier. Okay, so what we want to do is in the search and replace. Okay, text dot search replace and then replace that with search is a search function, but search and replace add description to do the case is to w3 search for w3 schools in the string and replace, it will replace Microsoft with w3 schools. Or you can also use regular expression Microsoft and then else one. I will perform case instance to, G performs global match, and M performs multiple matching, D performs start and end matching. Okay. JavaScript operator precedence, that parenthesis is the first one, then dot and then member of and then operational claiming and then function call and then new with the arguments, new without the arguments, just understand, and then plus plus minus minus, this is a postfix, then post decrement, prefix increment, prefix and then not operators, then urinary operators, there is plus minus, type of void, delete and arithmetic operators, and then shift operators, then relational and then comparison, and then bitwise, and then logical, and then conditional, and assignment. These are tricky things you need to understand, to see, right, in your program. So now we have come to the exceptions. Try, catch, finally. Try, catch, finally, throw. So whenever you are calling any function, you better to use that in a try, catch, try, and then catch error, and then error you can display, so that that will be handled properly instead of giving that error handling to the some other. Okay. Try and try and try block of the code of try, and then catch, and then catch block, and then you can also throw if there is any, you want to throw a user defined exception, throw, then that will come here, and then you can display too low, too high, right? If you want to test it, you can test it. You see, for example, 10, 30, then too high. Is too high, is triggered, right? This is triggered. So you test it, you will understand this also. Finally, once this is done, if you want to do some cleanup activities, you can actually do that in the final block of code. This is a good, and you always use a try, catch, finally in your programming to handle your program, in a proper error handling mechanism. So scope, what is the scope? There is a block scope, function scope, and global scope. Block scope, which is actually in a particular block, and then outside of this it is not available. Similarly, variable declared inside a block can also be accessed from outside with where. Local scope is a within the function, that is called local scope, and then function scope, where this is a function scope. Variables declared with where, let constant are quite similar when declared inside the function. Global scopes, if you keep that variable outside, it is available globally and you can use that. Okay. So hoisting is the default behavior of moving declarations to the top. So a variable can be declared after it has been used. In other words, a variable can be used before it has been declared. So you can declare a variable later also. Okay, that is called hoisting. Variables defined in let constant are hoisted to the top of the block but not initialized. Strict mode defines what should be executed in strict mode. Was ECMA script version 5. It is not a statement but a literal expression ignored by earlier versions. The purpose is to indicate that the code should be executed in strict mode. You cannot, for example, use undefined variable. Okay, you need to have a defined variable. You have to declare a variable in the strict mode. So this keyword is used inside the object, inside the class, okay, to reference this object. Okay, it is not a, this refers to the global object. This keyword refers to the object. This keyword refers to different objects depending on how it is used. Okay, inside the function, it is referring to the self object. So go through this. I'm not going to, arrow function. This is arrow function. That means it is the shorter version of a function, arrow function. Okay, you can directly use before arrow and with the arrow, hello, and then return, right? Then hello, we are calling hello, and it will return hello world. Okay, it is easy to simplify to make it function very simpler. So JavaScript class syntax, we have seen class name, and then constructor, class car constructor, new car constructor, constructor methods used for constructor to assign the parameters and the functions. Function is age, and then it has a date, and then it has return this message here, so it will actually return a particular value. So I'm actually browsing through this one, okay, because we are almost end of this. JavaScript modules allow you to break up the code, okay, and you can import message from message.js. Then you can functions and variables can be stored in an external file, and then you can actually export, right? You can export this so that it can be imported inside that particular, okay, function. Allow at once at the bottom export, right? Default exports, okay. So import, you can import them from this particular JavaScript so that it will be modularized. So JSON format is for storing the and transporting the data. Usually we use that to send to the server JSON. So this is the template. It should be in the flower bracket, and then record employees, okay, like a table, and then a table name, and then its first value, name value pairs. This is the column, and then value, and column value, column value, column value, right? Or you can remove that one. And JSON rules, JSON a named value, okay. JSON object is a name value pairs, and then we pass this as a headers into the server. So you must be able to prepare this. How do we debug JavaScript? Console dot, you log into the console.log, and then open that debugging in a debugger window, right? Developer tools, okay. You can actually get that when you are testing the values, right? You can check the browser. So in Chrome, where you can see pin browser, more tools, developer tools, and select console, you will get all those values. So each one will have its own, but you can use it. JavaScript style guide, coding conventions, you have to follow the notation, code indentation, statement roles, and then object roles, and then line length, and then naming conventions, and Pascal case or camel case, HTML, accessing the HTML, There are set of conventions you need to follow. Use lowercase file names. Okay. Avoid global variables. Always declare local variables. Declarations on top and initialize variables. Declare object with constant. Declare arrays with constant. Don't use new object. Beware of automatic type conversions. So don't use that one. Be careful when you are casting. Use comparison for both type and data. Use parameter defaults in the function. End your switch with the defaults. Avoid number string as objects. Avoid using eval function to run text. So these are the best practices. Just sorry. So common mistake accidentally using the assignment operator, right? So here if you use it, it will be a problem. X is equal to 10. Okay. If statement returns false, expecting loose comparison returns true. Strict comparison, this is the better. Okay. Switch, it is common to mistake to forget the switch statement. Use a strict comparison. Confusing addition concatenation. So you have to be careful. Floats, misunderstanding of the floats, breaking a JavaScript string, okay, and then displacing semicolon. If you do it, then that's it. It is not actually a condition, and a code will not execute. It is generally both code and condition both will execute. Breaking a return statement, okay, and then axing arrays with the named indexes, ending definitions with comma. So these are the mistakes. Practice it. Don't So reduce the activity in the loops. Should not have too much. Reduce DOM access. Reduce DOM size. Avoid unnecessary variables. Remove them. Delay JavaScript loading. Avoid using. So reserved words are there. JavaScript reserved words are there. Don't use them in your program. Remove reserved words. There are few data words are there. If all reserved words have been removed. Int, long, native, float, char, byte, abstract, boolean. These are all removed, it seems. Okay, so just be careful. So that is all about JavaScript. I will. We have discussed, most of the features of Java script. Okay, so I am going to end this. If you want further tutorial, you come and explore in the W3 schools. I am going to end here. Okay, you can we discuss the functions, right? Function parameters and the function. How do we use that, right? So you can declare a function and then pass the parameters and return. We have already declared all those things. Okay, so this is the end of my program, this tutorial, and I want to explain about internship opportunity at MySys IT Services, and many opportunities are there. I am offering 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 1 year internship, and with full stack developer, and with the various roles, and with manual tester, full stack developer, C++, Java desktop application developer, affiliate marketer, digital marketer, UI graphics developers, mobile app developers, game developers, research analyst, video ad creator, editor, social media marketer, AML developer, and I have many projects, live projects which are currently running, classified software listing, coupons nagar, and many other new projects which I am going to start, and AML projects are also there. And if you are interested, I'm going to offer 1 month internship with 1500 and 3 month internship with 3500, and if you want to extend, pay 3500 and work with me in all these live projects. Okay, so thank you, and thank you for watching my videos, and keep coming and keep watching, and connect with me, and open this and then connect with me for any internship. Okay, thank you, and we'll connect